All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another great money talk this morning. My name is Keon Corniff, also known as Mr. Finance, and I'm here to talk to you guys about annuities. Yes, I'm here to talk to you guys about annuities and the importance of learning about annuities. If you never heard of annuities before, well, I'm happy to be the one to tell you about annuities. You see, what is an annuity? Right? Many of you guys probably heard it before. Some people tell you it's an investment. Some people tell you it's a retirement plan. Some people tell you whatever they tell you. I'm here to clarify that or actually tell you what it's not. All right. So, first thing first, let's get to the bottom of an annuity. An annuity is pretty much like a reverse life insurance. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, well, what? An annuity is like a life insurance? Yes, but it's the reverse bet. Now, what I mean by this, life insurance works like this, where, right? I'm just speaking about hypothetical. I'm not going to get into the technicality of life insurance. I'm just talking about the overall. Life insurance is that you pay a particular amount of money and you want to make sure that you're covered for a certain amount of money. So if something was to happen to you and you die, the company will have to pay out. Okay. So you give them some money, they pay out a large amount of money if you die. That's life insurance. Now, annuity is a little bit different. An annuity is that you give them a large lump sum of money and they pay you the amount of money out to you until you die, right? And it depends on what pay you do. So it's a little difference. So life insurance is that you give them little money, they give you big coverage. Annuity is that you give them big money and they give you monthly payments, right? So that's why I say it's like a reverse life insurance. Now it comes with a lot of great perks. With annuities is that did you know annuities? Some of them avoid probate, right? Some of them can avoid probate, which is really, really awesome, especially in these times where a lot of people are not getting their life insurance and wills and stuff like that in order, right? So you don't have to worry about probate um, in some of these annuities, which is really, really cool. I think it's really cool. All right. So, what are the different kinds of annuities, though? Right? Because when you think about annuities, you think about investment, you think about a lot of things about annuities, but do you truly understand annuities? Right? What are the annuities that you probably know? I'm going to tell you this right now. Most of you, the annuity that you know of is the one that is called a variable annuity. That's the annuity that most of you guys know. I can tell you that right now. I know that for a fact. And the reason why that's the one that you mostly know is because that's the one that is tied to the market and it's have a lot of risk factors. Okay. So many people are not that excited about certain annuities. And the reason why they're not that excited about certain annuities is because, once again, the risk factors, right? So let's look into some more things. Let's look into some other things like this. What are some about annuities that is important to know? Now, the thing about annuity is that there's no limit. Okay. I want you to think about this. There's no limit to how much money you can put inside of an annuity. All right. So I'm think of the biggest number that you can think of in your head. Trillion. I don't know if there's a word as zillions yet, but I'm just trying to give you an idea that think of any number that you can think of, okay? And guess what? That's there. All right? That's there. That is there. You can put it all in that into an annuity. All right? You can put it all in there. So there's no limit. Now, what is the other thing you got to know about annuities? You got to know the tax bracket that it's in. All right? You got to know what kind of tax bracket is an annuity in. So the tax bracket that annuities are in is simply this. Listen to me now. I want you to listen to me now. It's also in what's called a tax deferred bracket. Okay, some people call it tax later. So this is the bracket that annuities falls underneath. So annuities falls underneath a tax deferred bracket, which means that you will be taxed on every withdrawal. You can't take the money out until 59 and a half. And if you do so, you will still be subject to that 10% penalty. And yes, there is a RMD. All right. So all those rules still apply to annuities. So you may think and wonder, well, what make an annuity even a great thing if it has all those same rules? Once again, there is no cap on how much you can put inside of it. And it depends on what annuity you're using. All right. Because like I said, most of you only know about variable annuities. So that's why you may be asking these questions right now. So the thing about annuity, why is it even important? Why is it really cool? It's because if your company does not give you a pension, listen to me now. If your company did not give you a pension, okay, did you know an annuity, if it's set up properly, it could be used as such? Yeah. An annuity could be used as a pension. You could create your own pension by using an annuity. Now, how awesome is that? Right? How awesome is that? So this is where you can really, really, truly, take advantage of that. But once again, like I said, it depends on what kind of annuity. All right? What kind? So one more thing that I want you guys to think about. One more thing I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about simple things like this. What are the different kinds of annuities? All right, write this down. There's annuities that are called variable annuities. And let me break down what is a variable annuity. Now, a variable annuity is an annuity that is tied to the market. Yes, it is tied to the market. So pretty much what I mean by this is that if you're going to have a variable annuity, you must know what is your risk tolerance. All right. You got to know what's your risk tolerance. Are you conservative? Are you an aggressive? Are you a moderate? Or you're a moderate growth? You got to know your risk tolerance. And that plays such a very important role inside of everything that you're doing when it comes down to, taking down different risks. Now, why is this important? Why is knowing your risk tolerance is important? It's because if you're going to have your money tied to the market's performance and the fluctuation of the market, then you better make sure you know how that works when it comes to your money. Because if you don't, what's going to happen to your money? What's going to happen to your money? The very same thing that's going to always happen to your money. You're going to lose it if you don't know your risk tolerance. All right. If you don't know your risk tolerance, you're going to lose your money. So it's important that you do know your risk tolerance. All right. You got to understand that. Another thing about annuity, type of annuities, is that they have something called a fixed annuity. All right. They have a fixed annuity, FAs, right? Fixed annuities. Now, what is a fixed annuity? A fixed annuity is an annuity that gives you a fixed interest rate all the time, meaning that they'll give you, say, a conservative rate of, say, 2% every year, no matter what, or 1% or in that range, right? It depends. Some companies have a different fixed rate. So they're guaranteed to give you that interest every year, no matter what. The market could have been down, the market could have been up. They're guaranteed to give you that fixed interest every year. So that's called a fixed annuity, right? Now, one of the other great thing about this fixed annuity is that it also gives you what's known as a safety. And it's also sometimes at a 0%, right? A 0% safety net. So that means that every time the market does negative, you get a positive, right? Isn't that cool? Every time the market does negative, you don't lose any money. And if the market does bad or good, you get a fixed rate of return, right? So that's another way how to protect your money, right? But then they also have what's known as a fixed index annuity, FIA, right? They have the FIA. How awesome is that? They have a FIA, fixed index annuity. And with a fixed index annuity, you really, truly got to see how important this is. This thing is so important. This is so cool. This is incredible. And you definitely want to learn more about a fixed index annuity, because let me tell you why a fixed index annuity is so cool. You ready for this? A fixed index annuity is an annuity that gives you the opportunity, listen to me now, a fixed index annuity, it gives you the opportunity to where your money will get credited by a certain index. So your money is not directly in the market, but your money get credited by an index like a S&P 500 or a NASDAQ or the Dow Jones, right? Just to name a few. This is what's so cool, guys. That's why, you know, you really got to understand how fixed index annuities work. Now, here's the cool thing. It has what's known as a cap and a floor, okay? A cap and a floor. So what are some of the caps? Some of the caps is that you'll have a cap at, let's say, 8%, right? You can have a cap at 8%, meaning that if the market does 10%, you'll get 8 out of the 10. If the market does 5%, you get 5. If the market does 1%, you get 1, okay? Just to give you an idea of how that works. Now, the other thing about the floor, also, just like the fixed annuity, fixed index annuity comes with a floor too, or safety. So that means if the market does negatively, if the market performs negatively, you will still get a 0%, which means that you will never lose anything that you already gained. All right. So you never lose on your principal. You never lose on what you already gained. All right. How cool is that? So fixed index annuity give you the opportunity to have a cap and a floor, which is sometimes much higher than a fixed annuity. All right. So these are things that you got to know. You got to know more about these things. Fixed index annuity is cool. Did you guys know that? Did you know the guy that ran, that used to be like one of the directors of the Federal Reserve? His name is Ben Bernanke. Did you know this gentleman actually used to, well, he's not used to, he used annuities. Did you know that? Right? And if you didn't know that, now you know, right? Yeah, he used annuities as his choice of things to use for a retirement plan. And that's what's so amazing about all of this, guys, is that, man, we all can truly, truly, and I mean truly understand how to maximize our opportunities, right? So if you sit there and say, man, my company don't give me a pension, right? Guess what? You could really, really, okay? You could truly, and I mean truly, take advantage of that. All right? Take advantage of that and create your own. Right? And create your own. So one of the things that, you know, I look at and I said, man, if we were so educated, right? And if we truly understand things like, what must we do? What I mean by this, let me give you an idea. How many of you guys would truly understand how to do rollovers, right? Rollovers. It is so important for you to learn how to do a rollover. Why? It's because many of us will have our 401ks, our IRAs, or our SEP IRAs, or whatever, our 403Bs, 457s, whatever you want to call them. and you will sit there after graduating from your job, because that's what you do. I call your graduation, which is your retirement. You graduated from your job, and you still keep your money in at that job. You still have them control this, and you never once ask them what is the management fees on your plan that they're administrating. Oh yes, and another thing, there's some fixed index annuities as well that has no fees. Yep, no fees. Did you hear what I just said? No fees, right? There's fixed index annuities that have that, no fees. Here's why you have to really understand. When you have your 401k and you leave your job, you must learn how to roll it over. You must roll it over, right? And you got to pick and choose and see, one thing I'll tell you too, always look over the prospectus. All right. Always look over the prospectus. So that way you can always know how things work in each one, because you still got to find out which one is suitable and which one is affordable, which one works best for you and your goals and your desires. So you better make sure that you always ask for the prospectus, look that over very well. If you don't understand what you're reading, ask questions. But you must roll that over so that way your money stop tied to a certain market fluctuation. If you don't want to lose any money more, when you reach a certain age, you don't want to be taking risk with your money. All right? You don't want to be taking risk with your money. Do you really want to take a risk with your money? Seriously. You seriously want to take on risk with your money as you get older? I don't think so. I don't think you want to be in a position where you could lose some money. I wouldn't want to lose some money when I'm getting close to retirement. No way. No way. That's not my goal, right? And I hope that's not your goal. Is that your goal? Right? Because that's what you got to ask yourself. Is that my goal? Is my goal is to lose money when I get closer to my retirement? All right? So I hope it's not your goal. I hope your goal is to keep as much as you can. So that way you can retire with a lot more than you planned for, right? Another thing that you got to look at. You got to look at the fact that you got to know your payout phase, right? Because annuities falls into two categories, all right? It's either a deferred, all right? It's either it's a deferred annuity or it's an immediate, all right? Deferred or immediate. And why must you know this? Because it's important for you to know. And it's really simple, guys. Deferred, it's like they try to make things so complicated where they say, oh, a deferred annuity is also known as the accumulation phase. And if you have an immediate annuity, it has a payout phase. This is how they classify this thing, right? A deferred annuity has a accumulation phase. And then if you want to do an immediate annuity, it has a payout phase. And then people looking like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So let me put it in our language, right? Because they like to complicate things. I think they do it because they want to sound fancy, right? They want to sound fancy. Like they like, that one kid that wasn't smart in school, so they say it so they sound fancy. So deferred means you rolled over your money and not taking it out now. That's all it means. It means you're not taking the money now. Okay. So because you're not taking the money now, it's going to grow. That's why they call it the accumulation phase. It's going to grow. It could grow or you could lose, but they call it the accumulation phase because the money is in a position to grow, depending on which annuity that you're using. All right. So it can grow. That's all they're saying. Accumulation phase. Now, with an immediate annuity, it's almost like that one should have made it a little bit easier for us to understand, but they want to complicate us. So immediate annuity, right? All that means is that you're taking the money now, okay? You're taking the money now, right now. You're going to start taking the money immediately when you roll it over, all right? Assuming that you're 59 and a half and all that good stuff. So you start taking money out immediately. That's why they say you need to know a payout phase, because you got to know which payout am I going to choose, right? Which payout do I want to choose? So there's different kind of payout phases, all right? So this is where they even get you to. They have different kind of payout phases. So let's talk about a few of them. There's a payout phase called lifetime payout, okay? There's something called a lifetime payout. Now, this lifetime payout phase is where you annuitize the contract. Once again, what does that mean? What are they going to annuitize? What is annuitize? It almost sounds like you're sanitizing something. No, not really. Annuitize just really means that you're surrendering the policy to them and you're saying, hey, give me money and give me much money until I die. And you guys calculate how much that's going to be, right? So they calculated, they give it to you. Now, the bad thing about this is that, let's say that you plan to live 20 years, but you died in 5 years. All right, you lost. They keep the rest of the balance. That's their money. All right, because you annuitize. You surrender the contract to them, and they give you a lifetime. Now, what does this play out? Let's say that you live past the 20 years that you planned for. They probably may pay out more than what you actually gave them, right? So it's playing Russian roulette, right? You're playing Russian roulette. So here's another one that they have. They also say they have a payout phase that's called lifetime payment, yeah, with period certain. So let me show you how this one works now. Let's say that you chose a period, because it says period certain. Let's say you chose 20 years that you're going to live, right? So you got a period certain with lifetime payout. You outlived the 20 years. So you chose 20 years, it should have stopped, right? No, but because you have the lifetime payout as well, it continue going until you die, right? Until you die. Now, what if you chose, let's say, period certain, right? You choose period certain as your payout phase now. Period certain is that you said, hey, I want to make sure that, you know, I get this money coming in for the next 20 years. And like I said, period certain, you chose 20 years that you want money coming in, right? You only live 10 years. You only live 10 years for this one. So now what does this mean? This means that the other 10 years that is remaining, that would either go to your beneficiaries or your surviving spouse will remain and get the rest, right? So how cool is that, right? How cool is that? Then they also have joint survivor, right? Joint survivor, meaning that, you know, they'll continue paying the surviving spouse until, even if you die first, the surviving spouse will continue to get. So it's really cool that they have different payout phase. But here's another one that I want you to know about. They also have what's known as a lifetime income rider. All right, lifetime income rider. So this is where you don't even have to annuitize, right? You don't even have to annuitize your annuities. You can just use the rider, all right, and you can still have control over your annuities. So guys, annuities are really cool. I personally like them. I really do. If you don't believe me how cool these things, why do you think your lotto ticket says you have different payout options, right? So what are the different payout options that you have on your lottos, right? On your lotto ticket. On your lotto ticket, it shows you that you could do either cash out, or you could do what's known as a annuity, right? You could have the money in an annuity. So it gives you different payout phases even on your lotto tickets. So how cool is that? So guys, I would highly tell you to look into annuities when it comes time to retirement, and really look into that, so that way you could truly take advantage of some of the things. And don't just have your 401ks, your IRAs, and all these things sit inside of your company's possession. No, you got to take control and really protect that money. All right, protect that money. You got to really protect that money. So quick announcements before I open up for questions or comments. So while I'm doing announcements, you can write your questions inside of the chat room, or you can raise your hand. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about retirement plans. So we're gonna break down the different things about 401ks, IRAs, SEP IRAs, and things in that nature. We're gonna talk about pensions and stuff like that tomorrow and have a better understanding. Just so you know, we have our financial literacy workshops, all right, every weekdays and now also on weekends. And as you can see, every Monday through Friday, we have them at 2 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. Eastern time. And as you know, our 30 by 30 financial literacy campaign is here. And one of the things we understand is that financial education isn't an option, it's a necessity. And that's why World System Builder is committed to educating and empowering 30 million families by the year 2030. So some of the things that we're doing to make this happen, because we're trying to educate 2 million out of that 30 million as a class and as a team. And I just want to let you guys know that our financial literacy classes, are here for you to learn more. And that's why we teach you the 4 steps to financial freedom every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can dial in 646-568-7788 and enter our meeting ID 739-226-2726. And please use our password capital B, lowercase SHYNAZ for the password. You can come on Zoom. Same number that you use for Money Talk, same number you use for our 4 steps. If you'd like to learn more about our campaigner opportunity, where you want to learn how you could educate families and also, earn some part-time income and campaign with us, guys, we have these overviews every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Me and my fiance and many of my other partners, we share the education and the information on how to become a campaigner and start to learn now how to educate families as well. So once again, every Monday through Friday, we do a Money Talk at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And it's normally around a half an hour class. So that way you can come and learn. And I hope you continue to learn and invite a friend and tell a friend so that we can keep empowering them. So with that said, guys, remember you are one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember the choice is always yours.